Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host, Gamer K. Okay, yeah, this doesn't fit. This absolutely doesn't fit. If you guys can't tell, I get to talk about my favorite anime ever, One Piece. And I don't get to do it that often. I've done a lot of anime videos. I haven't done my character list yet, and that's saving for a special occasion. And yes, last year, right when I got back from my trip in Greece, a very, very big thing happened. The One Piece live-action adaptation was set on Netflix, and months before that, earlier last year, I heard about it. I heard rumors, and I'm like, I was worried. I was really, really worried because of the Death Note movie that happened with... Okay, I'm not going to lie. Willem Dafoe did a great job of Ryuk. I'm not going to deny that. And also the actor who played L was fantastic. I mean, he was one of my favorite parts of the movie. The string of anime live adaptations, whether it be movies or TV shows, are always most likely a failure. They're usually failures. And when this was announced, I was worried. I was 100% worried. And you know what? After watching the trailer, I was impressed. And to hear that Eiichrio Oda, I hope I'm saying his name correctly, was essential for picking for the creative direction of the show, from the casting, and that he and the original voice actress of Luffy gave the main actor the seal of approval, and by bestowing him their straw hats. How can that not be like a seal of approval? How? So it looked great. I was a little, again, I always go into these things with all eyes open. I love One Piece. I've been a fan of it since high school. I need to catch up. But at the same time, I loved it. I really loved it. The cast was fantastic. The stuff they cut out to make the episodes flow more, and the stuff they added and changed, a lot of them were good. They were great changes and different takes. I don't like that. You know what? I can't. I loved it. Every single episode was great. And yes, the cast was fantastic. The side characters were perfect. And just watching the show, it's hard to find a little bit of fault. I mean, the thing in Arlong Park could have been done a little bit better, in my opinion. Just, I don't know exactly. Just having the whole thing with Luffy and Arlong having a better fight in just the dungeon. I mean, it was still fantastic. I mean, everything I'm babbling a lot about it, and I haven't even gotten to the topic of the video, which technically I did, but I can't. When it's about One Piece, and when I am proven wrong, it's a rarity, a good majority of the times. But at the same time, I can't get over how amazing it was. After completing it, I watched it again for 3 times. Which means I watched the entire 8 episodes after the other 4 times. Why? Because I loved it. And the fact that season 2 script was greenlit week of release. And okay, yeah, the strike that happened kind of slowed it down, which I understand. But watching the extra videos of the cast interacting with each other, doing funny things, just being great. This is what One Piece is. It's a collective group of nutcases just having a good time, and the cast immensely showcases that. And I love the main cast of the Straw Hats. And the fact that Taz, the guy who plays Sanji, took martial arts training and learned how to cook like Sanji for the role. I didn't know that until I did a little bit more research. And the fact that he cooked for the crew and the cast, that's fucking dedication if I've ever seen it for a role. And for people who are complaining about his eyebrow or some other things, the small cosmetic stuff, leave it alone. Leave it alone. And the fact that we are now heading into season 2, hopefully this year, I have a few, not ideas, because obviously I'm not going to do that for a show, but these are just predictions of how they could do this season 2. And that big kicker that they did right at the end with Smoker, one of my favorite characters, just from looking at the small little bit that they had for him at the end. No lines, no nothing. Just the jacket, the smoky gray hair, the cigars, his prism stone weapon. And, okay. Remember when we first met Smoker in the anime? How he was stacking those rocks, which, again, pissed me the hell off in freaking Valhalla. But if you look closely, you will see a pile of stones stacked up on Smoker's desk. You gotta pause it and look at it. And it was glorious. I can't wait. Oh my God. Just see Smoker. I swear to God. Do Smoker justice, guys. Oda, I know you're going to have a hand in this as a consultant. I know you won't disappoint people. This is going to be great. So yeah, I'm not giving ideas. I'm giving more of predictions and how the pacing could go for the next half, which is basically right up to Alabasta. And for fuck's sake, there are a couple things that they need to get right in order for this to be as legendary as the first season. Now, first off, 8 episodes and almost an hour each for a majority of the locations that they go to in season 1 worked very well. Nothing felt like it dragged on too long. The stuff they added filled in with it, because everyone knows that if there's one thing One Piece does, it's pacing is a big issue. It's a big issue in a lot of One Piece. I mean, it's not a big issue for me, but at the same time, the fact that they were able to pace things properly for the live action, they knew what to cut, what to add, how long to make it go. It just felt grand. And that's what One Piece is. I know this isn't going to be a shot for shot, because a shot for shot is annoying because we've already seen it, but taking different takes and doing different views and vantage points from it really make this show what it is. And yeah, I know there are people who are saying we don't need the live action adaptations, like there's been enough of them. Well, the same could be said for superhero reboots, but we keep getting those, so what's the difference? The difference is here in the One Piece live action and also in the Avatar live action. I still need to watch that. From the little bits that I've seen, is that a lot of heart went into these live adaptations that they've done, and I can see where a lot of people are complaining, but for me, it's the heart. That's what I love about this show, and why I watch it so often, why I watch it so many times, and I never get bored from it. Every actor acts like the character. This isn't something where you can just smack someone's name on something and they're immediately that character. I can't remember the voice the actor names, so I'm just gonna say the character because sometimes I have a hard time with some names. playing Luffy. He's young, he's an idiot half the time, he's gullible, he's naive, he trusts people too much, but you screw with his friends and you're going to get a beat down. That's perfect. With Nami, Emily Rudd, she's one of the ones I know very well. Just her quick thinking, her snark, and her absolute... You can tell, even if you're not a One Piece fan, you know she's hiding something, but she's so good at not portraying it until the Arlong Park. With Usopp, yeah, I believe this guy spent his whole time spending lives. Even if we don't get a bunch of flashbacks of it, I can tell that the town immensely distrusts him in everything. And I love it. And yeah, the long nose thing, I'm okay with it not being there as long as we get it with the Sniper King mask, because that will be freaking awesome. Zoro, he is perfect to a T. He's got the lines that he does say are full of snark and utter discontent for everyone around him. Yeah, he smiles and he laughs at times. And plus, his banter with Sanji right from the get-go is perfect. There are just some characters who have that banter chemistry that people try to recreate, but here I fully believe it. Even if they're not at each other's throats every second, the moments where they do banter with each other is spot on, perfect, done. Like, they didn't need to go as hard as they do, but they do, and I applaud them for it. And like I said with Sanji, Taz literally did martial arts training and cooking in order to become one with the character. And that is beautiful. And the accent, dude, if Sanji had so much swagger in the anime just for being him, this accent puts that swagger way high on top. And it just adds so much, because I can believe Sanji would have an accent. And it just works. It freaking works. Oh my god, I can't praise this show enough. And I haven't even gotten to the season 2 ideas yet. See, this is the thing with me. I ramble on about stuff, but it just showcases how much I love this series and how much depth and entertainment it is. It's great. Now I'm just going to take a quick swig. It's not sake, but it'll do. So, continuing on with the original theme of this video. Sorry, had to double check my work just to make sure I'm doing it in correct order. Not from Reverse Mountain, from Logtown, which is where we're going to meet Smoker, and then Buggy returns with that scaffold scene where Zoro gets his new swords, which, okay, they need to do that scene where the guy says to Zoro it's a cursed sword. He throws it up in the air to cut his own arm off. We need that scene because it's so badass. Usopp doing the snipers challenge so he can get those goggles. We need to have Sanji doing that cooking contest to get the elephant tuna, the blue elephant tuna, or something. I mean, obviously we can't do it all, but we need to do that infamous scene of Luffy at the top of the scaffold and Buggy basically, trying to kill him. And that's when we get our first glance of Dragon. I don't know who they're going to get to play Dragon. But the minute Smoker has Luffy by the throat, we need to have that interaction, that quick scene of Dragon stopping Smoker. We have to have it because it's quintessential. And also, we need to have... I don't know how I'm... just remembering those scenes is, oh my God. We need to have that ice cream scene. We need to have Smoker bump into the child with the ice cream, and we need to have that full scene. Because that's what made me love Smoker. I thought he was going to be a jackass Marine, because the Marines are played very, very evil within the whole series. And yeah, they kind of are. But with Smoker in that one scene, that and Alabasta is where my respect for Smoker went through the goddamn fucking roof. So we need to have that scene to implement, and I hope they do it well. And we also need Tashiki. We need to have a good Tashiki. Just saying. I say oh wait, then it's going to be older then. Shoot, that's not going to work. Yeah, I didn't think that through. Anyway, after Logtown, it's the reverse mountain, and I don't care how you do it. I don't know how, whether you do a motion capture or you do a CGI, we need to get Laboon. Yes. Because if this show goes as far as I think it will, which I hope it does, because so many other shows on adaptations of stuff went longer and canned, just to name a few. Yeah, these ones went way too long. I don't care if this one only had like 2-3 seasons. It went on too long. Same thing. Because shows like this where there's heart, I prefer than shows that are super popular but mediocre. And for One Piece, this isn't mediocre. A lot of talent went into this show. And then after the Reverse Mountain, we get Whiskey Point or Whiskey Peak, whichever, where we get our first look at the Baroque works with Mr. Five and Miss Valentine, and meeting Vivi for the first time, and they need to get someone great, considering she's going to be the focus of this goddamn arc. And then after Whiskey Peak, it's Little Garden, where I say that's going to be... No, wait. Yeah, Little Garden first. And then with Mr. 3, Miss Golden Week, the Giants. That's going to be freaking amazing how they do that with the Giants. I'm not going to lie. I can't wait for it. I just want to see how they do the sea... Because the Sea King that they did, my God, that was amazing. And then, okay, obviously throughout this arc, we will also get a little bit of background with Toby and Hepalemo. I'm sorry, his name confuses the absolute shit out of me. We need to do more background things with them and Garp. We really need more scenes like that because it adds extra. And then we go to Drum Island where the doc, who everyone wants Jamie Lee Curtis to be in it, mostly because she's a big anime fan herself and she dressed up as the character and she's on board. If they ask her, she's on board. And it's going to make me laugh. And it's going to be freaking awesome. Where we finally get to see Chopper. And they better make him a reindeer still. Seriously. I don't know how you do it. We got Rocket Raccoon looking freaking awesome. We have Momo looking really great. So, for the love of Lord, please do Chopper justice. Please. And obviously, that whole when a man dies speech and the scene for a flashback. I can't get over that scene. I love that scene. And then we go right into the heart of the start of Alabasta. So, I say, because most likely they will be doing 8 episodes again, let's see, one episode to tackle the entirety of Logtown. At least an episode to do Reverse Mountain, and then the beginning of the Whiskey Peak. I forget which one. Then another episode to do the end of Whiskey Peak, and to get us to Little Garden, and then another episode to get us from Little Garden to Drum Island, and then we do Drum Island, and then we have the last 2 episodes to build up the foundation for the Alabasta, where we get Nico Robin, Crocodile, the other members of Baroque Works, which I hope they keep, because those are essential battles. With Mr. 2, Das Bones, Miss Fright, Miss Doublefinger, Mr. 4, and Miss Merry Christmas. Those, to me, are essential fights. But I don't think we could fully get that until the next season. Or maybe I'm just... Yeah, because it's going to take a long time for Alabasta to work. And we'll also get Fire Fist Ace, for crying out loud, which is going to be a highlight for me to see who they get to play Ace. Because, again, he hasn't been mentioned or seen or showcased yet. But they need to get someone who's... I hope they get someone really fantastic to play Fire Fist Ace. And considering where we go, how far the full fight with Alabasta is, we really need to have that fight scene with Luffy and Crocodile, where Luffy loses, he's pronounced dead, and then I say right there, they do that scene, that part, at the end of the 8th episode. Right around there. So Luffy's left for dead, and then Crocodile tells all of his agents it's time for the siege of Alabasta. And as we see each of them go off towards Alabasta, with the Straw Hats in disarray, I mean, they don't know what happened to Luffy yet. That's when season 2 ends on a to be continued, and we get a small thing of Luffy's hand. Something. I mean, these are just my predictions of how they could do it, because if we do get 8 episodes, I don't think that's fully enough to do the entirety of the Alabasta arc. Unless they get bumped up to maybe 10 or 11 episodes, then they can do then they can do it entirely. And I honestly, again, I would love, hopefully, that they get the entirety of it into the whole season 2. And I get to have one of my favorite scenes of Smoker telling HQ, telling them off about getting credit for capturing Crocodile and dismantling Baroque Works and the Siege of Alabasta. We better get that scene in spades, I swear, because that's one of my favorite scenes. It's where my love of Smoker, again, went really high up. And then we get the whole thing with Robin joining the team, sailing off into the next great unknown of where they go. Which, if I'm remembering correctly, it should be... It should be around that time where they go to... where they go into that town before Skypiea, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I may be wrong, or I might be actually spot on. And at the end of that whole journey, they're sailing away, And we get a first look of Blackbeard. Like, we just get the silhouette, like, we just get some dark, shadowy room of silhouettes. And we just hear his menacing laugh. Hopefully they get someone who can do somewhat close to Blackbeard's laugh. And that's where season 2 ends. And hopefully season 3 will come after. Which means Skypiea, Luffy beating the shit out of Bellamy. Should they cut the Marine base quick arc? Because then we have to do the Foxy Pirates. I'm already dreading that. Aokiji, and then we get to Water 7. And I swear to God, I hope this show can get to at least Ian's Lobby. If we can get to Ian's Lobby, and we get the most grandest fight of all One Piece, okay, except for the one against Luffy and Kaido, but I digress. If we can get at least to there, then I'll be absolutely happy. I'll love it. So, also the whole kid that can talk to the animals arc with that sickle dude. Yeah, you can cut that immensely. Unless you just have him be a rogue guy who just appears on the ship to try to take them out. And then we just beat him up immediately. Just as a small joke of, yeah, those episodes were pointless. So, overall, 8 episodes to do the entirety of Logtown and then Alabasta. It's a bit of a tight squeeze to do it, but I say maybe give us 10 to 11 episodes if we are very lucky. And that's all my predictions on this, on season 2 of One Piece, of what could happen. I'm really hoping, you know what? I'm not hoping anything. This show got its ranking fully. It got greenlit right both the week of release, or was it week after? Whichever. They got an amazing cast. They got an amazing, talented crew. Literally, they got Oda at the helm of the creative consulting. And they got a great cast that makes everything they've done. It just blew my freaking mind. It blew my mind. Because when I heard of a One Piece live action series, I was scared shitless. Because I know the curse, but I don't know how, but One Piece lifted that curse. It did what everyone thought was impossible, to be a great live adaptation of an anime. And it's rarely done. It's very rarely done. And honestly, the actors are now doing conventions. And I hope now that these actors will be coming to my conventions in Toronto, because I'm going to geek out like a mother. It's going to be so awesome. You done good. One Piece, best-selling manga of all time worldwide, longest running anime ever, 1,000+ episodes, and now you've got a live action series. I can't be more proud of being a fan of this amazing series. And that's all I gotta say about it. Hope you guys enjoyed my fanboy ranting and ideas and conclusions. I may have skipped and babbled a lot, but I don't get to talk about One Piece that often on this channel, and I can't wait for season 2 to come out. Like, comment, subscribe down below, and join me next time where I end the month of March by going over, like the Straw Hats, I'm going to be talking about some protagonists who are, some of them might be as crazy as the Straw Hats, but overall, they're the ones who keep our story going. This is Gamer K, logging out.